After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
My two Satoshis. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome back to the show. It seems that Sifu might be returning to the treasury of Time Wonderland. I know it might be shocking to you, and there is a reason why I have specifically not done a video about the fiasco that went on with Time Wonderland, quote unquote, or the situation with Sifu. It's because we play chess, not checkers over here. And I was seeing quite a few interesting things going on. Even when the vote came down, I noticed that a lot of people were actually with Sifu remaining as a treasurer. But that's neither here nor there. Let's dig into the proposal and see what the community has to say. A proposal to return Sifu to Wonderland. Executive summary. Since Sifu anonymously appeared 2 years ago, he has been universally loved by nearly everyone who has come to know him and has made financial achievements in DeFi surpassing those of most professional investment firms. Among other achievements, he was the founder of Wonderland and grew its highly profitable treasury to over $1 billion. Shortly after creation, Sifu felt it important to reveal his identity to the Frog Nation founder Danny Sestagali, as it involved mistakes made in his youth. Danny decided to judge Sifu in the present rather than the past and accepted Sifu into the team. Recently, Sifu's identity became known to the public and in a possibly emotional reaction was immediately voted out of his position in Wonderland. The emotions of the moment were also flamed by two preceding and unfortunate rap memo cascading liquidation events. However, with time and reflection on both the specifics of his past and the achievements of his present, we perceive a sentiment shift happening in the community and a desire to bring Sifu back to shape Wonderland's future. Yep. We now propose to reinstate Sifu as Treasury and Operations Manager at Wonderland, continuing its former trajectory of success and benefit to the Frog Nation. Contents: Sifu's past, his present, reinstating Sifu, and conclusion. Let's go ahead and get this big. I want you guys to see it. Now, trust me when I say that I'm not judging. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. It's all about community and the developer. Without both working hand in hand, almost any project would fail. So, what happened in Sifu's past? In 2001, when Sifu was 18 years old, he committed credit card fraud for which he paid $35,000 of restitution. In 2003, he sold an early form of digital currency on the internet to a group of youths who committed burglary, credit card fraud, and identity theft. He did not commit nor was charged of those crimes, but was included in the arrest for having sold the digital currency as those who did. Accused of knowing what they would do with that cryptocurrency, and as a consequence served 18 months in prison for conspiracy. Now, quick pause. I am an ex-felon, so I already kind of had an idea of which way this might go, but I wasn't sure. That's why I did not do a video. Speaking on what they're talking about right here, in Texas, there's a such thing called before, during, and after the fact. Meaning that if you know of a crime that's being committed or is getting ready to be committed before, during, or after the fact, if you do not disclose that to the police and authorities, you can be charged with the same crime that everyone else did and get the same amount of time. Keep that in mind. Let's continue. As an aside, the author of this proposal at the same age used stolen credit card numbers to make long-distance phone calls and was expelled from school for simply being present in the car with a group of kids that broke the law. Ding, 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 ding. Many of us make mistakes in our early years and sometimes get in trouble simply by association. Trust me, I know. Continuing. Of greater significance, Sifu was the co-founder of Quadriga, the Canadian exchange that came under suspicion of various misconduct. The title of co-founder was honorary, not formal, as Sifu was a large investor and advisor. Any misconduct that may have appeared at Quadriga happened during the 3 years after Sifu left the company due to a disagreement regarding its listing on the stock market. The Canadian government's extensive investigation of Quadriga did not implicate Sifu in any way. The only formal Sifu-related allegation of misconduct at Quadriga is trading with customer funds at BitMEX. When Quadriga came under public scrutiny, BitMEX froze Sifu's funds to investigate their source. After 2 years of investigation by both BitMEX and the FBI, the funds were legitimately determined to belong to Sifu and were returned to him. On question of whether Sifu can be trusted with handling user funds today, it should be noted that at times, while managing Wonderland's treasury, and by necessity, Sifu held almost $500 million of Wonderland's funds in his wallet. He could have taken those funds, but he did not. At the end of the day, as pertains to his involvement at Wonderland and management of your capital, you need a clear statement from Sifu on his history, and here it is. As a youth, I've made mistakes for which I am sorry and for which retribution has been paid. I was not, however, involved in anything illegal or unethical at Quadriga. Period. I cannot change my past, but I hope that my actions over the past 2 years demonstrate evidence of both a trustworthy and capable citizen of this community. Sifu. What happened during Sifu's present? If we inspect Sifu's activities over the past 2 years, we discover a journey of good citizens and amazing financial achievements. No, I'm not going to try to say that word because my gap tooth is getting in the way. In the early days of pickle finance, Sifu was an active community member and ended up suffering the largest financial loss in the P-Die hack. In the midst of an angry community, Sifu was the voice of calm and compassion, asking people to be mindful that the developers are human, subject to making mistakes, and we're all beta testers in the creation of these amazing products in crypto. Sifu was the largest provider of coverage at Cover and was the largest investor and advisor at Ruler. When Ruler failed and the project leadership left, Sifu sent the project's $800,000 treasury to Andre Cronje with the statement, "I know of no more trustworthy person in crypto to hold these funds until the current situation is resolved." What's particularly notable is that those $800,000 were to be distributed to token holders. Sifu invested $1 million in Ruler and could have considered those $800,000 as his own, but in favor of token holders, he took the full loss. He tirelessly helped Discord and Telegram users as a moderator since newly launched at Yearn, Cover, Rule, Cream, and Pickle. He was an advisor at SpiritSwap, revamping their economics, which led to a 3x in token price. He was an advisor at Morpheus, responsible for their V33 token. He was an advisor at Abracadabra, contributing to the design of the UST and TriCrypto CDPs, after which the Spell token price increased in value by 100x. He was an early supporter and major liquidity provider near launch of nearly every major protocol in DeFi from Yearn to GMX. He grew his own wealth from $3 million to nearly $70 million in a public wallet, the activities of which are fully transparent on-chain for anyone to audit. He generously offered his time to countless people who followed his wallet, needing help understanding the sophisticated investments he was making in DeFi, so that they could also benefit from them. He founded Wonderland, worked tirelessly in the communities, supporting Discord, growing its treasury to over $1 billion, and leading its first VC investments in BSGG, BetSwap, the one I just covered in the other video. which in a span of a month has 5x in value. He donated $1.5 million of his personal funds to the Treasury in order to help fulfill his and Danny's joint promise to repay back those who were liquidated under them. Recently, he bought over $10 million worth of rap memo, reflecting his continued belief in the potential of Wonderland as a worthy investment. Make sure that you note that. If you did not know that, yes, that is something they've been talking about on Twitter and in the Discord for just a little bit of time now. It would be hard to overemphasize the positive impact he has made in the broad DeFi community over the past 2 years. Next, reinstating Sifu as the manager of Wonderland's operations and treasury. We believe the following are considerations involved in reinstating Sifu as manager of Wonderland's operations and treasury. Keep in mind, guys, before I go any further, this is put forward by the community. I'm going to show you the reaction to this proposal. And the only thing I can say to you guys is they're going to have more problems if this does not pass and get brought to fruition. The reason being is because they need some help and some guidance. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not telling you that they should do this. I'm just telling you what they probably will do. And I'm very, very certain that they probably will. Now, let's keep going. Temporary public backlash. There will likely be some public backlash, especially from people unwilling to assess the situation in its full context and the mob tendencies of social media. But this is a free market, and nothing stops the Wonderland community from deciding to forge the path it feels best leads to flourishing and prosperity. Investment performance. Will its past affect Wonderland's deal flow and ability to make investments? His past will have no impact on his ability to invest the treasury in permissionless DeFi activities from which we were previously earning $1 million per day. What about VC deals? This is unclear, but we believe that at the end of the day, partners will engage in mutual beneficial investments with Wonderland, and that Wonderland's performance over time will solidify its credibility. Cleaner funds management. Given the impracticalities of investing from a multi-sig Gnosis safe, funds in the past frequently flow between the Wonderland treasury and Sifu's personal wallet. It's easily verified on-chain that no improprieties arose from this activity, but moving forward, a separate wallet will be created so that there will be no wallet commingling. Return to progress and profitability. Well, they say Wonderland will exist, but exit its current state of treading uncertain waters and get back on track, delivering on its promise to users, growing its treasury, investing effectively, and benefiting its investors. The process. Following is the process we propose. Let's get that up there. Pass a vote, returning Sifu to Wonderland. Implement an exit option so that anyone objecting to this chosen path can redeem wrap memo at backing value. Sifu returns to daily management of the Wonderland operations and treasury management. Number 4, prioritize those areas of management previously targeted for improvement, including better reporting on treasury investment activities, development of a performance dashboard, hiring of a community manager. Sifu regrets the mistakes of his youth, has apologized and paid retribution for them. As evidenced by the past 2 years, he has participated in our community and the DeFi community at large in ways to which most of us could only aspire. Bringing Sifu back to Wonderland returns us to the path we previously knew, a growing and profitable treasury, promises made and kept, continuing innovation, vibrant support of our community, and a passion to deliver value to each and every frog in the nation. Let's bring Sifu back, along with the passionate community and treasury performance in which we all want to participate, and make this the greatest comeback story in crypto history. As you can see, there are 181 replies, 3.9 thousand views, 544 likes. And that's going to be important. I'm going to go into what some of the people have to say. So what does Andre have to say about all this? On the 27th of January, he says, I still support Danny, still planning on working with him, but there are lines, a history of consistent fraud, theft, and malicious behavior isn't a mistake. That's intent. Having Sifu manage funds, especially user funds, can be argued is negligence. That's all I have. Next, he says, Danny knew for a month, and in that time, Sifu was handling funds. I don't know what's psyops. I don't know what's going on. I want to get off of Willy Wonka's magical ride. Kind of vague, right? So let's go to the next statement. He says, on the 8th of February, not even a week ago, 5 days ago, remember I told you that this proposal was put out 5 days ago, I denounced past Andre's actions, thoughts, and/or dreams. He is a literal idiot. Future Andre also thinks the present Andre is an idiot. So future Andre also denounces past, present Andre's actions, thoughts, and/or dreams, not financial advice. He's a character. But keep that in mind going forward, because I have a feeling that he kind of understood or knew which way this might be going, and we'll just see. It's very interesting, isn't it? Let's continue. If we take a look at some of the responses that happened after this proposal, as you can see here, someone says, 5 days ago, I support this. My funds are Sifu with Sifu. And as you can see, it got 34 likes. Facts speak louder than FUD. I support this as well, the next person says, with 26 likes. This is a pleasant read and I agree with this proposal. How can we move it forward? With 23 likes. Another person says, for me, this is something we can definitely speak about. We already have the public break news that led to shock, angry, shame, and more emotions exploding in FUD. Some time has passed, and perhaps the moment has come to see the facts from a more objective and less emotional perspective. And this could also be a great life lessons about to not judge a book by its cover, and that got 20 likes. Another person said, let's bring in Sifu and bring Professor on board if they are not the same individuals. Totally support this idea. I won't go into the Professor right now, but later we will. Someone else says, I like this idea, but can't go forward till we hear from Sifu. To my opinion, we don't know how this is affecting his personal life. Sifu is fine. If you don't know, I'm going to go show you in just a minute. Someone else said, there aren't, and I'm not sure what purpose the professor would serve. This is this needs to be passed to restore price. I agree with this proposal. Let's vote Sifu back in. This is just over and over. If you just keep going through this, of course, you're going to have some people who do not agree. But overwhelmingly, those who do agree get a myriad of support. Someone said this is nonsense and the mods are using their perceived power to add an air of authority to a silly move. Someone said this is not simple. There's proof to these statements here. They need to provide full information at first. Someone says, does he want to come back? This is absolutely insane. No. I agree 100. Someone else says, I agree 100% with what he wrote here. I'm telling you guys, yes, there are going to be some self-righteous people and some people who don't even know the facts of the case. I'm not going to go into them. You do your own research. But for those who are in the space, for those who are part of Wonderland Time, please feel free to let people know how you feel about this proposal. I already know some people feel some type of way in this. Let me be perfectly clear with you on my channel. You can say pretty much what you want to, but if you attack me, I will just block you. Let me make that perfectly clear with you. I'm not like other YouTubers. You cannot sound off at me and think that I won't either roast your ass or I'll block you. So yes, please feel free to speak on this proposal and what you think about this. But if you come at me, trust me, I will block you, or I might just pull your page up and roast you. I don't care what other YouTubers do and how other people conduct themselves. This is my channel, and you will conduct yourself as such. You have been warned. Now, this has been my 2 cents on the matter, and we're out.
Lately I've been losing my direction. I know, 'cause I've been trapped inside this heart of mine. Oh, heart of mine. Oh, heart of mine.
You take the
Heart
red
of
pill.
mine.
You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember,